Hello beautiful people. I'm going to start today's video with a short but serious message. We understand that this seriousness does not keep with the theme of today's video, but nevertheless it must be said. I think it's very important for both Tom and I to show our support for the Black Lives Matter movement and to publicly show our allegiance. After watching a very informative video by Eve Cornwall, which I have linked below, I understand that in order to make the biggest impact, we need to hit American legislation. Please sign her petition to help change the law of qualified immunity in the United States. It's a law that protects police officers when they've murdered Black lives. You will also find links in the description box below of petitions that I have personally signed and also links for places to donate to if you have the means to do so. This is the bare minimum and the smallest things we can do right now to help the cause. Please be kind to one another and thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy the video.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Wow, Sky makes a big entrance. Welcome back to this week's video. This week we are going to talk about expectations versus realities in St Andrews. So we're going to give you some general expectations of what we thought about before coming to St Andrews and what the general expectation is of being a student in St Andrews. And we're basically going to open the lid and tell you that they're all lies and show you the truth and the reality about it.
So buckle up and let's begin.
That was a sleek intro.
Sure, Jan.
The first expectation that I had was that there wouldn't really be much of a going out scene.
I love how that was your most prevalent thought.
Yeah, no, because no, it's not like my most prevalent thought. It's just like when you read about here, it's like, oh, you know, we don't really have anything apart from the Vic and the Union. Your expectation is that you won't really have like much to do or many events or anything like that, which is just not the case.
What's your reality for it?
Basically, so many photos of me looking so trash. You know it yourself, there's so many events here, so many we can't go to. We end up spending so much money on all of these different things and then not realizing it, and we look back at our finances and get immensely terrified.
Will that stop us? No.
Definitely not. Essentially, this video, we're going to be doing the Google search version and then our version.
Untrue photos of like 601 being absolutely packed out and like a mad rave scene. That is not the reality of St Andrews.
Maybe in Freshers Week it is. But other than that, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, that's true. Like in Freshers Week 601, I went to like 2 things, I think, in 601. Both of the times they were full. After Freshers Week, 601 is never full.
Apart from Halloween. Halloween is also really full. Remember Halloween when like you were coming back from the library and you were like, I hate this. How happy are you at me?
I hate you on every level.
Well, that was such a treat. Get it? Trick and treat. My expectation is actually a reality. Every single party you go to is black tie. I've had more use out of my like suit and different bow ties and stuff than I think I would have had at any university in the UK. It's ridiculous. I swear I've had something like every month that's black tie.
It's nice to dress up though.
Yeah, but also it's so much effort. Do you know how much like shoe polish and stuff is? It's so expensive.
Are you kidding me? We as women are expected to wear different dresses to every single event. Sky, don't you dare jump on my laptop. And you can just wear the same thing. The only thing you have to like, you don't even have to change your bow tie if you want to be, you know, wow, look at me. You'll just look good with the same thing. So what, you have to pay for shoe polish, okay? I don't care. Do you know how much dresses cost? Do you? Do you, Thomas?
It is nothing compared to me, honestly. Let's do a Tom talk right now. The first ever Tom talk.
Tom talks. Yes, he likes to get loud. Tom talks, even when he's not allowed. Oh yes, indeed, sir, Tom's talks are always sound. So get ready and listen to Tom.
People,
Men.
buy a different bow tie for every ball or black tie event, please, because the unoriginality of seeing your same bow tie at every single event is ridiculous. I'm fed up of seeing, and also this is another thing, I'm fed up of seeing you use stick-on ones or tie-on ones. Learn how to tie a bow tie. And that's my Tom talk over for this week. Please, men of the world, take that as guidance and use it. What was your next expectation?
Probably that there would just be a lot more nerds, I guess.
3, 2, 1, go!
I actually agree with you.
Am I wrong
thought-
in saying that?
No, I assumed, like, my expectation was like, oh, I'm gonna come, it's gonna be all, like, intellectually stimulated, like, every conversation I have is gonna be a massive debate or, like, a really, like, intense conversation about something academic. Doesn't happen.
I thought I'd have been to a saloon by now, I'm not gonna lie.
Tonight is about wit and wisdom and discussion.
Okay, so my next expectation was, when you Google St. Andrews, what you come up with is very sunny vistas and, like, very lovely weather with, like, everyone walking down the pier in their red gowns and everything. You do not get sunny weather all the time in St. Andrews. We probably have so many videos or photos of us in, like, torrential rain or awful winds or anything like that.
The wind is actually so bad. Remember
Having
when I
said-
arrived to that English lecture and my, like, legs were drenched?
Do you know, though, what I've seen recently is a lot more people wearing, like, Wellingtons just, like, in the day. Anytime there's any rain at all, you see so many people come out in, like, Wellingtons or boots or something.
Yeah, and then all the Scottish kids make fun of them for it.
What's your next expectation?
That I would be friends with the people that I met in Freshers.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
That's tip 101. Don't stay with those people.
I mean, listen, it's not like I'm not friends with any of them. It's that my closest friends now are not people I've met in Freshers. And second year, you lose a lot of friends, so even
I
better.
gained.
I did too, but you also lose. You're definitely not in the same friend group that you were last year.
No, I think it's just difficult because of, like, so many of your friendships in first year are built around people who you live with. It's like, what's it called? Friends for convenience. So many people call it that.
But also, it's like who's close by, who lives with you in your hall that you can see and talk to, like, at any time of the day.
My next expectation, although I don't really know if this is my expectation, I feel like this is just an expectation about St. Andrews in general. Everybody is an Oxbridge reject.
Okay, not me.
Expectation. Not everybody, but also, you know, go and watch the video where I just talk about my rejection for 20 minutes.
There are actually a lot of people who are Oxbridge rejects. However, there are also a lot of people who are not. You know, for me, I just never saw the appeal of applying to Oxbridge.
What's your next expectation?
Oh yeah, I didn't expect lecturers to be so rowdy and chill.
They're also, like, they act like students sometimes
Yeah,
in lectures.
that's what
I'm
I'm
so
saying.
amazed.
I thought they'd be so professional because, you know, in school they teach you all these things about, oh, you know, you have to be on time, respectful, like lecturers are not the same as teachers, it's much more serious and all this stuff. And then you get to uni. Literally, imagine having Dr. Haddo as your, like, first lecture. He is legendary. Like, I don't know, it just gives you such a connectedness to them because a lot of them are very, you know, in with pop culture, they're fun, they swear openly, which is also great.
I'm not like a regular mom, I'm a cool mom.
There's so much banter going on between, like, you and your tutors or, like, you and your, like, lecturers and stuff. Like, our tutor, like, was, like, watching our YouTube channel and stuff.
I know! Oh my word!
And also, like, coming off of that whole thing about lectures, another thing I think people expect about such a high-ranking university is that everybody is switched on and is really academically astute in lectures.
Yeah, what lectures look like when you Google it are so different to the reality of what they are.
Bitches ain't eating it, dying of hunger. What the fuck am I mean?
The ultimate aim of all poetry is to not exist. It is to be silent.
to be fair, in my defense for falling asleep in so many lectures, I wasn't really accustomed to the 10 a.m.s, you know, or then the 11 a.m.s. But then this year, all my classes were in the afternoon, so I was fully awake for all of them. I did not fall, actually there was nearly one time that I fell asleep, but that's because I had basically not slept the night before, so I'm gonna excuse myself for that one.
My favourite one is when you literally, like, in first year, I remember, like, for like half a term or something, we had this agreement, like, you would fall asleep in one, I would fall asleep in the next, and we'd just take it in turns for who would take notes. I remember one time you were just like, I'm done with this, and you just like put your head completely down on the table, and the lecturer literally just like walked straight up to us because he was like breaking the fourth wall, and I was like, oh no, this is it.
You know what the problem with that is? Let me explain that story, okay? First of all, it was a really boring thematic lecture that had no relation to the actual text that we were studying. Number two, 50-minute lectures, right? It was literally the last 5 minutes of the lecture that I wanted to put my head down. I had been awake and invested for 45, okay, maybe not invested, for 45 minutes.
Half an hour of which was you on Facebook.
And then I just wanted and like to put my head down, and I did. And then the next thing I know, Tom is like jabbing me, get up, get up.
Do you know though, that's another thing, like I've been thinking about this recently actually, like there's such an expectation I think, and I don't know if this is true for like Oxbridge, but there's such an expectation that high-ranking universities are difficult in terms of academic. I don't think I've ever actually been properly struggling with work during my degree so far. Like there's never been anything that I've been like, I can't do this. Maybe that's just sub-honours.
Not gonna lie, I had a bit of a traumatic moment with avant-garde nationalism. That was a difficult time, I'm not gonna lie to you. And my essay feedback, my tutor wrote, you didn't understand what the question was.
I think he deserves a Nobel Prize.
No!
And she wrote, I don't think you understood the question very well, and you also didn't fully understand the concept of avant-garde nationalism.
My next expectation, and this is such a stereotype about St Andrews, everybody is very wealthy. If you watched our video last week, you'll have seen us talking about like the...
It wasn't last week.
Was it not last week?
It was
Which
the week
was it?
before.
What did we film last week?
Top 10 moments.
Basically, if you checked out our videos, what was it called, the video?
Tea! We were spilling tea!
Yeah, okay, sorry. This is such a pointless expectation now. I think there's an expectation with St Andrews that everybody is extremely rich and extremely well off. The reality is that the majority of people are very comfortable and very privileged here, and we are all very privileged in a sense, because I mean we go to such a great university. St Andrews is actually itself a very poor town. The locals here struggle quite a lot because students bring up the prices of everything. A lot of students that you don't actually realise probably struggle financially, and so, you know, elitism is definitely a thing in St Andrews, but also, you know, there are definitely things in the university that are trying to tackle that. I feel like that's such a serious topic in such a light-hearted video.
Yeah, it is an expectation. I didn't expect to see such a wide gap economically between all the students. We have billionaires, this is what I'm saying. Like, the kids of billionaires. And then people who work like 1 or 2 jobs to sustain themselves.
Yeah, which is insane. Like, I don't even think I could do a job over summer, never mind.
Privilege, Tom, privilege. Or maybe it's because you're lazy.
Lazy.
Oh, another expectation I had, and so many people have, and so many Americans have. Sally's is the best hall to live in. Reality. Sally's is one of the worst halls to live in.
What is the best hall to live in?
Well, it's certainly not Regs either.
Macintosh?
It's a bit dirty. But, like, I don't know.
Boom. Roasted.
I think Uni Hall was pretty good. Anyone who has ever lived in Uni Hall seems pretty like content with it, and it's like a good vibe and a good size.
And Uni Hall was the first hall.
Yeah, exactly. It has so much history. So many people are obsessed with St Salvator's just because, obviously, it's where Prince William and Kate lived. In reality, the hall is dingy. Like, it's so dingy. To say it's like one of the biggest tourist attractions in St Andrews, inside, like, I lived there, it was hideous. Sally's, so many people complained, it had no hot water for weeks and weeks.
Oh,
Honestly,
that's the same for Macintosh as well. But I would say probably the worst hall is Melville.
Oh, 100%.
Just because of things I've heard.
It's disgusting.
Just,
absolutely vile.
You haven't even been in it, okay?
Boom. Roasted.
I will say, I expected it to be a bit more diverse than it was. I went to a school that was very multinational. We had over 50 different nationalities at my school growing up. So coming here and like having that not be the case was very strange for me. I was quite shocked that I didn't see as many ethnically diverse groups within the university.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. This keeps coming up in our videos, actually.
I mean, it is important.
It is a really important point, and it's also, I think it's a really honest point that like doesn't actually come across with universities, because so often universities, with publicity and stuff, they specifically present like, oh, it's super international, you know, like let's look at all these photos of different ethnic minorities and different students from different backgrounds and countries in photos and videos. In reality, I think it's much, much whiter than you would expect from a very international university like St Andrews.
I would say though, I've been contacted by 3 different girls, and they had expressed concerns about applying or even accepting their offers here because of some of the things that we said in the video about there being a lack of diversity and there being a lack of BAME groups. But like I replied to them, and like we're gonna say now to you, that if you are in that position where you're conflicted about applying or accepting your offer, you're going to be one other form of representation that comes into this university, and we need more of that. So if you do feel that the course is right for you, please do come, because it will make the university a more diverse place, which is what we essentially want.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And also, like, you're not going to change it until people actually apply and like show their own representation. So it's like something that should be changed a student at a time. And also in terms of just education in general, like, you should not let anything stand in the way of you receiving a good education and the education that you want. So honestly, don't let any statistics put you back, because, you know, if you come here, you will succeed. Did you come with any expectations about university in general?
You know what I didn't expect? Hay fever. That's what I didn't expect.
That's such a first world problem. I think I expected university to be quite intimidating. I don't think it was like a massive thing in my thoughts about university where I was like, oh, I'm super scared. Like, you know, what if I don't fit in? What if I don't make friends? You know, all the like the classic things that come to you. But it wasn't like a massive thing for me because I was just super excited to go somewhere new. But I think honestly, like, a lot of students will come to university with an expectation that it's going to be scary, or it's going to be intimidating, or, you know, that you're going to have to go to every party to make friends, or it's going to be like the social life is going to have to take a centre stage for you to feel comfortable in university. And it's not even just a specific St Andrews thing, I think. I've spoken to lots of friends who feel like that. But I think the reality actually was, and especially like in St Andrews, I think because it's so insular, is that actually parties and that type of social life, if you're not interested in that, is not fundamental. When I got here, I didn't feel scared or intimidated at all. Like, I was wanting my parents to leave so I could meet people.
See, I had something really embarrassing happen to me literally the first night here.
Did you wet the bed?
No! I'd had breakfast that morning, but then I hadn't eaten for the rest of the day, and I had a lot to eat at dinner because I was very hungry, and it was like food that I wasn't used to, like super starchy, very oily.
As all food in halls is.
And then after that they had the pre-drinks at ABH. I literally had like a little bit of gin and was having a beer. I'm not kidding. Like, my tolerance is not low. Like, I mean, back then it was, but not that low that I would have thrown up because I'd had like 1.5 drinks. So it made no sense to me. And then I was sick in the kitchen sink of someone's kitchen.
It was at this moment that he knew.
That's honestly a lovely story to share to all the people who are watching this video.
And I obviously introduced myself as Kiki, and like back then the Drake song was a huge thing. In My Feelings was everywhere. It was the song of the summer, so everyone started singing In My Feelings like while I was throwing up.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
That's such an interesting thing to be known for, though, in Freshers.re. I'm not sure where to go from that.
Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. We are really close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to us.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and we will see you next week for next week's video. Bye.
Bye!